Hey everyone, welcome back to Trevor's Talks. I'm your host, Jim Horn, coming to you from Traverse City, the national cherry capital of the United States and the world, at least in my opinion. And today we're breaking down the Grand Traverse County Board of Commissioners agenda for Wednesday, July 15th, 9 a.m., the Governmental Center, second floor. That's on Boardman Avenue. Big one this week. There's a ballot measure, a housing fight. I don't know if I'd call it a fight, and a benefits overhaul, all on the table. So let's get right into it, folks. First, a little quick housekeeping. The board opens with the usual invocation from Commissioner Henschel. It's his turn. Then the roll call, first public comment, and the approval of the agenda. Then they move into the consent calendar. That's the grab bag of routine items, meeting minutes, rent waiver for the Commission on Aging, an IT upgrade, a few reports, all passed in one motion, unless somebody pulls an item out for real discussion. I'll flag the ones worth your attention as we go. The headline items are in special orders of business, so that's where we're going to spend most of our time on this podcast today. Well, let's start with the Trails millage. That's the one that's actually going to show up on your ballot. The Traverse Area Recreational Trails Group is asking the board to adopt a resolution putting a county trails millage in front of voters this November 3rd. We're talking about 0.3 mils, that's 30 cents per $1,000 of taxable value for 10 years, starting in 2027. The board isn't voting on the millage itself today. They're voting on whether to send it to you, the voters, and whether the paperwork behind it meets the county's own policy for countywide millage request. If they adopt it, expect this to become a real conversation piece across Grand Traverse County between now and November. Next, housing, and this one's got some teeth. Shore North Development, doing business at 520 Railroad, LLC, is asking the county to waive a pilot, that's payment in lieu of taxes, for a planned 57-unit workforce rental housing project at 520 Railroad Avenue right here in Traverse City. The board isn't approving the waiver outright on the 15th. They're voting to formally consider the application, which kicks off the review process. But make no mistake, this is a live debate and about how far the county should go to subsidize workforce housing through tax policy. Worth watching if you care about affordability in this county, and I have a feeling we will be revisiting this one after the board meeting. Staying on that theme, the board is also considering adoption of a resolution tied to the county's Housing and Homelessness Task Force. It's a shorter item on paper, but it signals where the board's priorities are heading on housing policy this year, right alongside that pilot request. 2 housing items, same meeting. That's not a coincidence. That's a county grappling with a real problem. Now, a consent item that's actually a big deal financially, Gallagher Benefit Services. The board is being asked to adopt a resolution moving Grand Traverse County's employee benefits program to Gallagher, effective October 1st, 2026, and to approve a consulting agreement with them. This affects every county employee's health and benefits package. It's tucked into the consent calendar, but a switch like this for a workforce this size is worth more than a rubber stamp. We'll see if any commissioner pulls it out for discussion. And a few more items worth knowing about, and we're going to move quickly here. The county's awarding the RFP, that's requests for proposal for Project Alpha's 9/11 Technology Consulting to Michigan Critical Partners. That's the next generation 9/11 dispatch upgrade, counting continuing to move forward. There's a RAP grant agreement for the Civic Center. That's outside recreation funding the county's accepting, with the county administrator authorized to sign off. The building authority is giving an update on Project Alpha's April through May progress and a second pay application. That's the ongoing capital project tied to the jail and justice facilities. And the famous, he's not really famous, Dan Watkins from the Road Commission. I like the job Dan is doing. He keeps everybody up to date. He's giving a live update during special orders. Always worth a listen if you're dealing with county roads this summer. And we're going to be all over that one. Dan is always very, very good on what's going on. Also on the consent agenda, a policy update on critical county officials, leave notification, a I can't even pronounce it, Meraki wireless upgrade for IT at just over $35,000, and the sheriff's office declaring a batch of firearms from the evidence room as surplus for disposal. Routine, but it's all part of the record. Then there's a departmental item, which is the update on the dental clinics north. No action, just a status report followed by second public comment and adjournment. So there you go, folks. Here's the line through for July 15th. This is a housing and infrastructure meeting dressed up as a routine agenda item. A trails millage headed to your ballot. A workforce housing tax waiver headed to review. And a quiet multi-million-dollar shift in how the county handles employee benefits. That's a lot for one Wednesday morning. Hey, folks, that's the agenda. We're going to be watching the meeting and advising you and putting out a podcast with the actual voices of the commissioners as they speak to these various issues. Hey, I'm Jim Horn. This is Travers Talks, and I can guarantee you we're going to be back at you Wednesday right after the county commissioners meeting. Take care and have yourself one great week.